Welcome to this video clip to introduce the Stories for Inclusion project. My name is Els Heine and I am an inclusive education advisor. This clip consists of 3 parts. The first part will highlight the role of teachers. The second part focuses on the role of the community based on experiences in Bangladesh. And the third part demonstrates techniques how to work with inclusive storybooks with experiences for Ghana. A short training module has been developed because it's important to support teachers how to use disability inclusive storybooks in the classroom or in the school library. For practical purposes, this book, My Name is Runa, developed by the Stories for Inclusion project, will be used as an example during the training. The module can be used in a 1 or 2 day workshop. It consists of a PowerPoint presentation and a detailed step-by-step training guide. It's an open source for professional development and can be adapted to different contexts of countries. The training module has the following objectives. 1, to explain why storybooks are important as sources of information and values. 2, to demonstrate how books like My Name is Runa and the activity guide that comes with the book can be used for disability awareness raising and contribute to a more inclusive learning environment for all children. And 3, to explore the role of families and communities in promoting inclusion using children's storybooks. The training module covers the following topics. An introductory quiz to assess existing disability knowledge, feelings and experiences, demonstrating how to read and use books like My Name is Runa, identifying fun literacy activities after reading the book, and monitoring effects and impact of using a book like My Name is Runa. We expect that My Name is Runa and following books in English and other languages will be used widely, and I hope you will enjoy using this training module.
I'd like to welcome everyone to this second part of training introduction. I am Nijamuddin and I work for Disabled Rehabilitation and Research Association DIRA in Bangladesh. My team is implementing Stories for Inclusion at community level. This part of video highlight how families and communities complement what teachers do in their classrooms and school libraries for disabilities inclusion. At community level, disability awareness programs are organized. Baranda schools provide services for families with children with disabilities such as therapy and education. Baranda school means that activities take place on the veranda of a house in a community. Parents or caregivers are learned to do the same at home. To raise awareness in the community and foster a more positive attitude towards the children with disabilities. Young people have volunteers to become buddies for children with disabilities and their families. This helps to reduce the negative disability stigma. Parents and caregivers are coming together regularly to discuss disability issues in their communities. They have become strong advocates for their children. Previously, children with disabilities were teased and called names and not welcome in mainstream schools. However, attitudes are changing since school started to work with the storybook about Runa. Several children have successfully enrolled in the regular school with teachers who now better understand how to respond to the learning support needs of these students.
Welcome to the final part of this video. My name is Patricia Arthur and I work for Biblionef Ghana. Books with characters with disabilities are very important Why? Because they teach us empathy and understanding, and they help us see the world from a whole new perspective. Teachers can use these books to enrich their lessons and also to help them during their library periods. So how can these books be used? A teacher can read aloud using storytelling techniques to make the story more real to the children, to make the story come alive even better when they're reading. Storytelling techniques would include the different speed or pace of the story, and then voice intonations. So for instance, if you are in a sad moment in the story, your voice will go low. If you are in an exciting moment, your voice will go up. So that's what we mean by voice intonations. I will use the book, My Name is Runa, to demonstrate this. By the way, there's an activity book that also goes with. So this is My Name is Runa. And I'll read a portion of the story. I can't read the whole book, but I'll read a portion of the story just to demonstrate how your reading should be. Now, you can either read this way and then, read over the page and show the picture to the child, or you can read this way. And after you finish reading, then you show the pictures to the child. So we read. Mom loved me very much. I was sure of that. Yet I have a disability, and I know this was also difficult for Mom. When I was young, people said to Mom, "You do not need to take care of such a child. She's crazy. We do not want her to play with our children. They're afraid of her." That was very hard for me, because if nobody wanted to play with me, and if everyone was afraid of me, what could I do? This is the picture of Runa with her mom. Her mom loves her so much. And this is a picture of the community. See the woman with the children. They're afraid of Runa because of her disability. Can you imagine that? Afraid of Runa because she has a disability. All right. So that's just in short how you can read a story to the child with the different, pitches and the different intonations. Teachers should ask questions before, during, and after reading the story. That is so important. So you can ask questions that do not necessarily have only a yes and no answer, but questions that infer. So you can ask questions like, how did you feel about the story of Runa? Do you have children in your class with a disability? And how did you feel about them before reading this book? How do you feel about them now? And you could ask questions like, what is the moral in the story? How has this story changed your perception? How will you behave towards children with disabilities now that you've read the story of Runa? So questions like that, questions that infer and allow children to use their intellect to be able to come up with answers to the questions. Okay. So with these ideas, this introduction video clip ends. We hope you will use the training module in your school and communities, as it will hopefully contribute to reducing stigma and negative judgments of children with disabilities and lead to a recognition that such children have many abilities and talents just like other children. Thank you very much. Bye.